Hey guys!
Hey, thank you for tuning in. Today is a special video because it's our last video here in this farm.
Yeah, so we've been living for the last 8 months in an intentional community, growing our own food, getting our energy from solar panels, and we want to share with you why we are choosing this lifestyle and why we believe it's essential that we start moving away from the matrix.
Yeah, we believe this is the new earth. This is how we create a new earth.
Yeah.
Although it's not perfect, this is the closest we ever get to be self-sufficient and to be in harmony in our relationships with Mother Earth and with other human beings and animals as well. We will share also practical tips how you can do this in your own speed, in your own space.
This is the start of something new. This is the start of something magical. This is the start of something new. This is the start of something true.
So the main reason why we chose this lifestyle, because the way we live, our lifestyle, especially in Europe, USA, all the developed country, we are consuming way more than the earth has to offer. If we continue this way, we need 3 of planet Earth to sustain our lifestyle. This is why we choose, for example, to live on a plant-based diet. This is why we chose to grow our own food. This is why we chose to eat locally. This is why we choose to use the solar panel. This is why we choose to live in a community where we can fulfill our needs from each other and use less from the system and consume less and produce more.
Definitely. So the environmental factor is huge, guys. Another thing is, that when we're dependent on the system, and the system is actually quite fragile. You may have noticed this already with the whole, so this is in the time of the COVID-19. So governments imposing, for example, lockdowns, and maybe in the future there will be more issues. Maybe there are new viruses. Maybe there are droughts and water shortages. Maybe there is food shortages or wars.
And it will come. Like we are in a challenging time of the earth. So it's so important to have our own resource.
Yeah, to be independent in that way. We are interdependent beings, of course, but in this sense, we don't need to depend on a system that is no longer functional.
Yeah, we can depend our neighbors, but we can depend on food and crop that shipped from us from the other part of the world.
Yes.
That's not sustainable.
No, it is not. And another big part for me personally is health, actually. So, we are completely disconnected from the earth. And as we start growing our own food, we return that connection. When we plant the seed and we watch the plants grow and we put it into our bodies, that cycle is so close to us, and it's so much more healing than anything else.
And it's different flavor when you put your love and your flower and your plants, and then you eat it. It vibrate in your level, and it's such a different. We've been eating from the garden since like 5 months now, and it's so healing for us.
Yeah, and also of course, when you buy from the supermarket, either you buy super expensive organic food which you might not be able to afford,
which usually not local
and not fully organic either, actually, or you buy food full of pesticides, potentially unripe. You're supporting multinational corporations such as Monsanto, who produces some of those pesticides or fertilizers that are used in the production. So again, when you buy from supermarkets, you are supporting a system that is not benefiting the planet.
If you know how much those corporations, those supermarkets are throwing food, it's massive. I read in some of the statistics that more than 30%, and in some country like the Nordic country, they throw even more than that. All throw to the garbage, not even recycled. It's so painful to see that. And we need to step out of the system and create our own creation unit.
Yeah, and another thing that came to me, it's like that. It's a vibrational thing, because when we're supporting multinational corporations that don't have very high ethics, that are harming the planet, it has something to do, it impacts our vibration as well. There is something karmic about that as well, that we are putting ourselves into another karmic tie, when we are actually contributing to that harm. So when we are eating the food that we ourselves produce, we are raising our own vibration.
Exactly, and this is why we choose to eat also plant-based. We have a video about this, like spirituality and diet, how they are linked together. You can check it out after this video.
Yeah, and of course, you know, if you know that you are able to sustain yourself 100%, you're not dependent on a salary, you will not be dependent, you know, on money to actually live. You will still, of course, probably want to earn money, but you know, that will be for your own entertainment, for your joy and pleasure and abundance. But you don't have to, we should not need money to survive, because then we're kept in this fear cycle of, oh God, if I lose my job, if I lose my money.
Many people are trapped in the idea of I have bills to pay, and this is like one thing that kind of like held us back from our freedom.
Yes.
And actually, like when you start stepping slowly in this, you would see that your bills actually reduce a lot. Your health insurance can be reduced a lot. Your payment, the rent that you're paying in your apartment can be reduced a lot if you live in a community.
And your food costs.
Your food costs will be reduced a lot. So all these things that you're worried about, it would bother you so much when you start living those alternative lifestyles.
And then you no longer work for survival, because your survival is guaranteed.
Yeah.
And then you only work for love, because you love to work.
Yeah, because you love the work you do.
Yeah, or because you want to manifest something else. Let's say you want to manifest an expensive house or like a trip somewhere, then you do work to be able to get that.
Yeah.
But it's not like, if I don't work, I can't eat
Survive.
and I will be on the street, you know?
Yeah, and this is like one of the hooks that the system is trying to block us in, like this, how the matrix is kind of like hooking us that, oh, you have to function, you have to work, you have to pay the bills. Like our life became like have to. And we forget like about the main connection of like, oh, I want to enjoy life.
Yes, like what do I want to do?
Yeah.
Oh, like actually, like we're abundant. Like if you have access to nature, you're just free and abundant.
And like for us, we woke up every day and go to water our plants and check on them and walk bare feet.
And pee on them.
Which is a good fertilizer. So like this lifestyle gives you so much inner peace. And like we saw like during the lockdown, when all this crazy things started to happen, all our friends who live in the city were terrified, and we were like, oh, we didn't notice anything has changed because we live most of our life here in the nature. Our friends don't wear those, you know what I mean?
Things here.
So for us, it didn't change so much. Our life was so healthier. We didn't go through stress. At the beginning, we felt like a lot of fear, but when we researched and learned about what's going on, this fear is dissolved, and we realized that our mission actually is to let people see that there is a way out of this problem. There is a way to live healthy. There is a way to improve your immunity. There is a way to improve your emotional connection to others.
The whole matrix is an illusion, guys. And the more of us that we awaken to this reality and we free ourselves, the more amazing the earth will be, because we will be many, and we are already many, and we will be building something new together, and we take care of each other. You know, we are meant to take care of each other. We don't let each other, you know, die in the pit somewhere because, you know, you couldn't pay your bills. That's silly. Just come and pick some pumpkin from our farm and feed your family.
Yeah, exactly. I really recommend a movie called Time. This is how like the mind consciousness is controlling the world, and this is like where we are heading if we continue living the old way, like with all these things that gonna impose on us with the, you know what I mean? Like all those things gonna be really harsh, and we really need to step up and create a new world before they create the new world order for us.
Yeah, totally. We don't, by the way, just a disclaimer, we don't grow everything here. We buy a little bit of food from the local farmers market, and that's beautiful. You know, you can support the local farmers, and you know that you are feeding their family by buying from them.
And it's such a beautiful relationship to meet the farmer who grow the food, and many of them gave us actually a lot of advices on how to grow our own food. So you see, this beautiful relationship is developing, and even
they brought us some, you know, vines for the sweet potatoes so that we could plant our own.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful relationship that we have experienced here, and you can also create your own. Yeah,
we hope that this video inspires you.
Yeah, please share it. Please share it.
Yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
You're free.
Yeah, so please.
Wow!
Yeah, so if you find it helpful, please share it with others so we can spread the light and encourage people to exit the matrix and live our enjoyment and create a new earth together.
Yes.
And also let us know where do you live in the world and what's challenging you to live your life purpose. Yes.
We hope that you feel our vibes and it reaches your heart. Mwah.
Mm.